So we are going to talk about meal prepping, and I am not talking about where we cook everything in one day and put it in containers. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? I'm going to talk about ways that you can meal prep like a mom. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Overweighted Podcast, where we get real about the struggles of being obese and needing to lose a whole lot of weight. My name's Malaika. I'm your host, weight loss mentor and coach. Join me on my personal weight loss journey to lose about 200 pounds, and as I share my very real experiences, plus some simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss tips and mindset shifts so that we can mark lose weight off of our to-do list for good. So before I get into today's episode, I just wanted to say thank you so much for 1,000 downloads. I appreciate you so much and hope that you're finding value in this podcast. I'm super excited to hit that first milestone and appreciate you guys so much. And just so you know, go ahead and leave a review because there will be a review giveaway coming up here soon. Also, the Christ Over Cookies 40-day group coaching program is going to be starting on June 1st. And if you are a woman of faith and you have an issue with like sweet tooth or overeating, then you want to be a part of this 40-day coaching camp. I'm going to be doing weekly lessons plus group coaching every week. And then you also get access to the Christ Over Cookies masterclass that's already been recorded. So you get access to that right away. But if you sign up for the coaching camp before May 15th, you're going to get a bonus one-on-one coaching call with me. So you already get one coaching call as a part of the camp, like a one-on-one call that we will have at the end of the camp. But if you sign up before May 15th, then you're going to get a bonus one-on-one call. So you're going to get 2 coaching calls to help you with the principles and the steps that we're going to talk about in the camp to actually help you after so that you can make sure you're implementing them or for any problems that come up. So to sign up, you're going to go to malaikaburley.com/COC, and COC stands for Christ Over Cookies. So malaikaburley.com/COC. Come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot of great information that's really going to help you break free from your sweet tooth. All right, so this is the next part of our How to Lose Weight in 90 Days and Keep It Off series, and we are going to talk about meal prepping to make your life easier. And this episode is not about cooking everything in one day and then having those meals all week, like you have them already prepackaged out into little containers and then eating them all week. That's not what this episode is about. In this episode, I'm just going to give you some tips that have helped me as a mom to make mealtime a little less frustrating, faster, and more convenient. And if you missed last week's episode, I walked you around the grocery store and we really talked about what to put in your cart. And so now that you have this stuff at home, we're going to talk about what to actually do with it. But the first thing is you are going to want to make a meal plan according to your schedule. And so this doesn't have to be complicated at all. I am really mood driven, so I don't like to sit down and plan out what I'm going to eat every single day because I know when that day comes up, I'm not going to want to eat that thing. That's just me. I go by my mood. So what I typically do will make a list of things that I want to eat throughout the week. And depending on my mood on that particular day, I'll pick from that list and then that's what I have to eat. So when I'm saying meal plan according to your schedule, look at your schedule and figure out what days maybe you might have doctor's appointments, maybe there's ball games, maybe there's a presentation or something you have to do at work. So maybe those days that you're going to be really busy or you're going to be tired, and by the time you get home, you are not going to want to cook. Those are the days that we're more likely to go out and grab some fast food or something that really wasn't on our plan. So on those particular days, I like to plan crock pot meals for those days. So one thing you can do with meal planning, even if you don't plan out every single day, just plan for those busy days that maybe that's the day that you're going to have your favorite crock pot meal on that day. Another thing that you can do if you know you're going to have a busy morning or a busy day is make yourself some overnight oats the night before that day. So that way your breakfast is already ready. You can grab it and eat it on the go. So with the overnight oats, just go on Google and look for some overnight oats recipes if you don't already know how to make them. But you have a liquid, you have your old-fashioned oats or your steel cut oats, and they go in the mason jar, and then you can put your toppings in there as well, and you let that sit overnight, and in the morning the oats have soaked up the liquid and you can pretty much eat it just straight out of the mason jar. Or if you want to heat them up, you can dump them in a bowl and heat them up as well, but I usually eat them cold. It's just one less thing to have to do. But overnight oats are really convenient to have for those busy mornings. Another thing that you can do if you have some mason jars on hand is to make some salad jars. And those, again, are nice for those busy mornings, or if you know you're really not going to have time to make yourself a more nutritious lunch, then you can prepare the salad jars 1 or 2 days ahead of time. And what you're going to do is basically you're going to put your salad dressing in the mason jar first. And then I would put any wet stuff in, so like cucumbers, tomatoes. If you're going to put like cheese and carrots, anything like that, you can go ahead and put that in. And then you want to put your lettuce in last. So you want the lettuce to be on top so it doesn't get like all soggy from the dressing and from like the tomatoes and that kind of stuff. So basically you have your jar already prepared. You put the lid on it and have it in the fridge. And then when you're going out for that particular day that you want to eat it, you can eat it just straight out of the jar. Basically, you can just shake it up and mix everything together and then eat it. Or if you want, you can dump it in a bowl and eat it that way. But overnight oats and salad jars are two great things that you can utilize on like busy mornings or busy afternoons, and then make use of that crock pot if you have one for those busy days. So the second tip I want to give you is to do it all the first time. And I kind of talked about this tip when we had the episode on making it easier for you to succeed. But one of the things that you can do with your fruits and veggies is you can either wash them all when you get them home. And so that way you can just grab them whenever you need them because you'll know that they're already washed. Or when you get the first one out of the package, then go ahead and wash the rest. So for instance, with grapes, when you're getting ready to eat some grapes, you can wash the whole bundle of grapes and then just take the ones that you're going to eat. But that way the other ones are already washed for you. So when you go back the next day to get more grapes, that's one less thing that you have to do. So with your fruits and veggies, it really helps to save time if you just go ahead and wash them all at once. And also, when you're cooking something, maybe consider cooking it all at once. So for instance, if you have a bag of chicken breast, if you can fit all of the chicken breast in your crock pot, go ahead and cook all of the chicken breast at once. You can still take out what you need for that particular day for dinner, but that will help you so that now you have some cooked chicken already prepared throughout the week. You can throw it on salads, or you can throw it into a wrap if you want to have some type of wrap for lunch. And you can even put it in the freezer if you know you're not going to use it later that week. But when you go to pull it out, it's already cooked, so it's going to save you some time later. So if you can cook all of your chicken in the crock pot at once, go ahead and do that. And like I said, once it's cooked, just take out the extra portions, and then you can go ahead and season whatever you're going to use for that particular night for your meal. And I do that same type of thing with like eggs, for instance. So if we're going to hard boil some eggs, just go ahead and hard boil the whole carton of eggs. And that way they're already done and you can eat them throughout the week. When I'm making pancakes, one of the things I like to do is go ahead and cook the whole box of pancakes. And so whatever pancakes we don't eat, I let them cool, and then I will stick them into freezer bags and put them in the freezer, and then the kids can take them out and pop them in the microwave, and they taste perfectly fine when they do it that way. And along the same lines, you can do the same thing with whatever you're cooking for a meal for that day. Like purposely make yourself some leftovers. And so that's less times that you're going to have to cook throughout the week. Maybe you're eating it the next day for lunch, or you could eat it the next day again for dinner. But doing this, you're going to have more food already prepared, and that's less times that you have to cook, especially when you're in a pinch and you don't have much time. So whenever you can, consider cooking more than what you need at that one time. The third thing that I like to do as far as meal prepping like a mom, and this one's really more of a convenience tip, but buy frozen veggies or frozen fruit. The reason I like to do that is because there tends to be less waste, because I don't have fruits and veggies like sitting in the fridge and then they get rotten and then we don't end up getting to eat them anyway. But if I buy them frozen, they can stay in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And the frozen veggies are still going to be nutritious, just like the fresh ones. So if you notice that you're throwing away a lot of fruits and veggies because you don't get a chance to eat them before they go bad, then consider buying the frozen version. And the other reason I like to buy it frozen is because it's usually already prepared. Like for instance, with broccoli, if I buy broccoli from the produce section, then I have to wash it and cut it up. But in the frozen section, I can buy the broccoli florets. They're already cut up and I don't have to worry about doing the extra work. So that's saving me time, and it's more convenient for me to buy that frozen option over the fresh. And so most of the frozen veggies are going to be like that. You pretty much just dump them out of the bag and cook them. There's no prep needed. You don't have to wash them. You don't have to cut up the veggies. Just read the directions for whatever you need to do to prepare them. So buying frozen veggies can be a lot more convenient, and it will save you a lot of time. And on that same note, the other tip I wanted to give you is just buy prepared things. Like I mentioned, making the salads in the jars. Well, if you don't have jars or you don't even have time for that, you can buy some prepared prepackaged salads right in the grocery store, usually over in the produce section. And so it's nice because you can get some different varieties of salads. They're already packaged. They usually have the salad dressing in there as well. And then of course it gives you all the nutrition info. And so that's something really handy that you can grab and take with you for lunch. And that way you have something convenient to eat, and you're not maybe stopping at fast food because you just need something fast to eat. So buying like a prepackaged salad is a great option. Also, one of the things I like to buy, and this is also in the frozen section, it's this bag. It's called seasoning blend, but it's basically cut up celery, onions, and peppers all in the bag together. And that'll save me time, one, because I don't have veggies going bad. Two, I don't have to cut them all up. And three, I tend to use onions and peppers in a lot of different recipes. So that's something that I already have there and ready for me to use. So I will throw like the onions and peppers in eggs. They're also good to put in soups if you're making soups, or if you're making some type of potato, you can put it in with your potatoes. But it's called seasoning blend at my store. I'm not sure what it's going to be at yours, but like I said, it's onions, peppers, and celeries. And then there is also a bag of just diced up bell peppers as well. And so those are great options because they're already prepared. And like I said, those are things that a lot of recipes call for, so you'll already have them ready to use and ready to go. Another thing that I'll get that's already prepared are grilled chicken breast strips. So again, that's one less thing you have to cook and cut up. It's already done for you. They have different flavors depending on what you like. And that's something where if you're running out of time and you don't have a lot of time to cook, you can heat up some of those chicken breast strips and throw them on top of a salad, or you can put them inside of a wrap, and that'll be still a nice healthy lunch or dinner for you. And the one thing I do want to say when you are buying some of these prepackaged or prepared foods or frozen veggies and fruits is to check the ingredients and make sure that those are the only ingredients, because some brands you will find that they'll use some extra additives. So you want to make sure, like for instance with the peppers trio, the only thing in there are green, red, and yellow peppers. You want to make sure there's no extra additives. So make sure to check your ingredients label whenever you're buying some of these prepared things. And the last tip that I want to give you is to organize your takeout menus. Yes, I said organize your takeout menus, because there's still going to be those times where you're just like, forget it, I do not want to cook, I don't feel like it, and you just want to go ahead and go grab something at a restaurant or some fast food place. Obviously, that's not something that you want to do all the time, and you only want to do it when it's within your budget. But it's not going to be the end of the world if you just don't have time to cook and you need to go out and grab something to eat. So what I would suggest is organize your takeout menus and highlight some of the healthier options that are available. And you want to do this before it's the actual day that you're going to go out and have that food. So whenever you have some time to sit down, and go through your menus, go through them, highlight some of the healthier options so that when it is that busy day and you're grabbing that menu, you already see highlighted on there what are some of the better choices for you to make. And so that will help you to not be so tempted to get some of the other less healthy options. What tends to happen on our weight loss journeys is that sometimes we quit because we make it too hard and we don't give ourselves grace when we need it. But even with eating takeout, you can still move forward towards your goal. Just choose the healthier option on the menu. So I hope that was really helpful. That was giving you some ways to meal prep like a mom so that you can make your mealtime just faster and more convenient and less frustrating, because the simpler things are on our weight loss journey, the more likely we are to stick to them and get towards our weight loss goal. I hope you have an amazing day, and make sure to come back next week for the next part of our How to Lose Weight in 90 Days and Keep It Off series. I know the next episode is really going to be helpful for you. All right, I will see you later. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you got any value out of this or something just really resonated with you, can you do me a favor and leave a review? It helps others find the show so that it could help them too. Also, I'd love to connect with you on other platforms. I'm Malaika Burley on IG and YouTube. And go grab my free webinar, The 5 Keys to Simple, Successful, and Sustainable Weight Loss at malaikaburley.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks again and have a blessed day.